Biggest change in your personality.
Biggest change. So we're talking about specific
change in your personality or demeanor, like over the last 10 years. And has that change been intentional or just a natural part of aging?
Well, I think viewing things less adversarial, or like challenges being less adversarial. The role of like where this is against me, or I'm against this. And that was a real, I think that was an active decision of learning, how to
just shifting your attitude about things.
Just dial it back, man. No one's trying to take something away from you.
Right.
No one is trying to challenge you. That. So definitely that. But mind you, we can still shift into that gear. That's always that gear is always on the console. We don't always use it, but I think that's it. And but maybe it's a part of aging, because if you keep that up, you don't get to age.
That's very true.
You don't get to maintain the relationships that you rely on.
Yeah, man.
Or make new ones.
See, Tommy Lee Jones was right.
Man, he's something else.
You got it.
Like that's hard. So like, what is the function versus the effect? Is that's always the thing? Or is it is it a function of the phenomenon? Is it an effect of the phenomenon?
Right.
That, and that's. I mean, having the patience to think about that, I guess that's a sign.
Yeah, it doesn't. I don't think it matters.
Like they're just like composing of like, hey, I've got the forethought to understand, to analyze what this situation, rather than just being like, I've did it and I'm right, or I have such deep regret about this, I'll think about it forever.
Yeah, no, I think it's a good thing, man.
Like of just being able to like, sort of just unbox it a little bit, take a little time. You're like, oh, man. I definitely think, being able to admit mistakes is so much easier now.
Good.
Than it's ever been, because, the only person, that feels the consequences is you,
I was at a I think it was an Al-Anon or Nar-Anon meeting one time. And someone said something. It was like the reading of the day. And it opened it up. And it said, what's so important about being right? And this is maybe 13 years ago. Something I heard, just ready to hear that message. And Al-Anon, or I don't know if it was Al-Anon or not, that's where you go for other people.
Oh, no, I'm very familiar.
Okay. So, and it changed my whole relationship with my wife, because up until that point, I had been it was important to me to be right.
Yeah.
And I had a lot of unnecessary conflict as a result of that. And when I heard that,
playing my greatest hits,
dude, I came home and I said, babe, I'm really sorry. I've been kind of an asshole about certain things. And I something about what they said. And it changed the whole dynamic of my relationship with her. Man. And that's continued to get better from other changes I'm a lot more open-minded to over the last 13 years. Yeah, it was really being, and I never had a problem admitting my mistakes when like with my kids.
Mm-hmm.
I've fucked up lots of things, but I've always said, hey guys, I'm sorry. I did the best I can. I fucked up. But something about that, hearing that, it was just the right place, the right time.
Man, that's as heavy as it gets, man.
Yeah, it was
like
great.
That is of like, what is so important about being,
Exactly.
And also in that setting too, of like, there's not a person alive today who's, whose life hasn't been affected by addiction.
Oh my God.
In some form or other. Like there's nobody left.
Nobody
in this world who isn't directly affected
unless they're
by
lying.
someone in their family. Yeah, I'm saying there's nobody left
right.
that isn't affected by that. And that's, man, of course, this isn't right what you're doing. So
right.
I don't have control over this, man. Like,
yeah, right.
You think the right or wrong part that you're telling me about is what's on my mind right now?
Right. No, people
just
don't get it.
Being unable to say, man, it's amazing. Just being unable. It cuts so much to the heart of what I was talking about before.
Yeah.
Being mad at dead people. Right. Like that. They were wrong.
Yeah.
I got it.
Yeah.
Like that. I'm like, oh yeah, great.
Yeah.